Did you know that most people actually remain poor because they haven't acknowledged the other three currencies that exist aside from money? If you if you didn't know that there are three other currencies aside from money, yo, stay tuned because we about to get
On
into
the
it.
road to the riches, on the road to the dollars, on the road as a scholar, so I could join the top
Peace and
five.
blessings. What is going
In the
on, y'all?
trenches,
Y'all have now
it's a long
tuned in
expedition.
with your host, KiMu JTB, for another episode. And this is where you're going to get those tools and techniques that are going to help you achieve all of those big and wild dreams that make you want to go after it in life, but you just can't figure it out. And I'm giving all of this to you based off of my personal experience. Like, I didn't just read this stuff in a book. I actually lived everything that I'm giving to you. So if that's something if that's something you're interested in, that's something you want to hear more of, please go ahead, hit that, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button so you get notified every single time that KiMu drops another video. So let's get into it today. I actually see that a lot of times people correlate their value with how much money they have or can give. And I think, like, for me personally, I think that is probably the most demoralizing way to attach yourself to this physical world. The reason why I say that is because value has nothing it has a little bit, but it really has nothing to do with the amount of money that you can give somebody. Like, if you pay your credit card bill, does that say, if you pay your credit card bill, does that say you're a more valuable? Does that say you're more valuable? Not really. If you're giving money to the homeless, does that mean that you're more valuable? Money should, and then this is just me personally, but we're going to get into why money should not be the primary, if not the factor that tells you how valuable you are in this world, because you're very valuable. It's just the fact that you haven't tapped in to the value that you're actually able to provide. And that's why we're here. That's why we're here on this channel. So we can start tapping into you and your gifts and your abilities and your skills, so that way you may continue to grow 1% better every single day. All right? So let's go ahead, get into it with the first, starting with a nice little story, because as I said, everything that I go through is based on my own personal experience. So back when I didn't have any money. Like, I had no money. I nearly homeless. Like, the only way that I was able to have a roof over my head was driving Uber. I had a family. I'm driving Uber so that way we can do Airbnbs, because we couldn't keep a steady household. And then that got us to a point where we were living with my uncle. My family was living with my uncle. And that time period was it was demoralizing, seriously. Like, that whole time period where I was just Airbnb to Airbnb and I was living with my uncle, it was demoralizing, because I knew that I was worthy of something more, but the fact that I didn't have money made me feel like I wasn't valuable. And that was only because I wasn't tapping into those other three currencies. All right. So that's why we're here. That's why we're going to talk about these other three currencies aside from money. And I'm going to actually give them to you in a list that I feel is more appropriate in ranking them. And you might know about another one. You actually probably know about all of them. You just don't know that they're currencies. All right, so let's get into what a currency is. A currency is a system of money in general use in a particular country, or it is the fact or quality of being generally accepted or in use. So what does that say to me? A currency is anything that you can use. Anything that you can use, and we're here to figure out what are those basic currencies in life that are going to help you specifically elevate and get to the next level. And I just got to throw this out there. These currencies are going to help you become an asset to yourself rather than continue to be a liability. We're going to get into that a little bit deeper in another episode, because that's probably why most of us are actually in a situation where we're either living paycheck to paycheck, or we just can't figure out how we can get ahead in life, is because we have actually allowed ourselves to believe in the fact that we are liabilities without even understanding that we are liability. So we're here to turn us into assets, to increase our value, to figure out what are those other currencies. And I'm not going to make y'all wait any longer, but we're here to figure out what are those other currencies so I can become of more value to the people around me. And number one, we already know about them. The first one, this is the bottom one, the one that's all the way at the bottom. That is money. The greenback if you're in the US. I'm talking about money. Now, money, yes, it is a currency. It is something that allows us to stay in our home, to have our lights and our gas and our water constantly on, allows us to buy the things that we want, allows us to buy the things that we need, allows us to buy more clothes, groceries, food that we like, organic food, eat whatever we want. It allows us to do the things that we want to do in the physical realm, in the society, so far as society goes. But in my personal opinion, I truly believe that most people actually misuse money, and they freely use it without actually understanding how the currency actually works. It's something that either you have to learn in your own, going through YouTube University, or it's something that it's something that doesn't get taught in school. Like, my introduction to money was literally save and buy. Savings account, checking account, and invest in a 401k. Like, that's or IRA. Like, those were my introductions to money. I didn't start to understand how money works and how I play a part in the money that I get by applying those other three currencies. It's all about applying the currencies. Your money is literally just going to be a byproduct of your ability to utilize those other three currencies that we're getting into. Without those other three currencies, you're not going to get any more. You're not going to get more money. Your money is literally the bottom line. Like, it's going to literally be the bottom. It's not the foundation. It's actually just, it's like getting a report card. Like, oh, your money is going to show you, this is what you've been doing. Good job. Or it's going to show you, this is what you've been doing. You probably need to do something different, do something better. Actually, let's just do something different. So, money, like, let that be your bottom line. Don't let that be the thing that dictates how valuable you are, because your value has nothing to do with money. Let's get into that second currency, which is that next tier. And what I believe is that next tier is going to be your knowledge. Your knowledge. The reason why I think that knowledge should be that next that in that next tier towards the top is because, I mean, most people, if not all people, have heard knowledge is power. And that's a very baseline statement if you ask me. True fact is knowledge is not power, applied knowledge is. You can have all the knowledge in the world and do nothing with it, and you haven't shown your value. You're still valuable, but you haven't shown the value that you're actually able to give. That's why I'm here. I have knowledge, and I want to share that knowledge with you. I want to share my experiences with you, so that way you can have some level of results that are getting you closer to your goals. Getting that knowledge, and the knowledge that we really want to get is something specific. I'm going to advise that you just don't go out here just getting random knowledge. Like, random knowledge is cool, but when you're just tapping into like knowledge that's just out there and it's not going to enhance your life, it's not going to make you any better. It's just like fun facts. Like, fun facts are cool, but if you can't apply it, like, or you're not going to apply it, well, like, what good is it? Like, I remember probably 4 or 5 years ago, I started learning about this thing called gematria, and it's really just about the words and symbols that are used in media and written dialogue that trigger certain things in the human mind. Unless you're really interested in that and it's something that's going to get you forward in life, I really wouldn't go too deep into it. Like, those are rabbit holes that I'm no longer willing to go into. Like, you have to choose what knowledge you're going, like, that you want to get into, because that knowledge, everything you do should be in correlation to your goal. Knowledge is going to get you, one, to tap into yourself a whole lot deeper. Like, when you read a book, you should pull something out of that book so you can express it and help other people. That's why I'm saying that money is the baseline. With knowledge, you can actually help people. I have knowledge, and I'm giving you the knowledge that I already have to help you and better yourself. That helps in accumulating my value. If you watch my video where I talked about me having trading sessions, I had knowledge and I was helping people make money with the knowledge that I had, which increased my value. The money that I had in my trading account didn't increase my value. The knowledge that I had helped increase my value because it helped people make more money. It helped people develop a level of trust within KiMu called on trades, so that way they can make more money. So that's what that second tier is. That second tier is going to be your knowledge. How much do you have in your brain? The next tier, the following tier, that third tier is going to be your relationships. And I'm not just talking about your relationships with your significant other or your mom or your dad, but what are those relationships that you're having that are existential, that are outside of those basic relationships that you grew up with? Are your relationships tied with people that are going to help you get to where you're going? Are those relationships actually devaluing you because of the conversations that you're having, because the amount of effort that's being put into those relationships? Like, actually, literally just this weekend, I was having a conversation just trying to understand, like, what is the base, what is the foundation of some people's relationships, and does that actually correlate to how close and how tight you hold them to the fire, figuratively speaking? Like, for example, when I wanted to do better in life, and when I say do better in life, I'm talking about, like, I wanted to start really going after my goals. I created a relationship with somebody, not just based off of the fact that I saw him on a podcast, but I purchased his book, and he told me in the book to do this assignment and send it to him through Instagram. And that's exactly what I did. I did the assignment, sent it to him through Instagram, and we developed a relationship. And really, sometimes you develop in a relationship is really you just checking in on a person and then you just sending your blessings their way. Sometimes in order to get that deep relationship, we have to start small. We got to put in a little bit of work to get to the next level. Yes, relationships require work. And that's the thing. That's the thing about everything that I'm talking about, is the fact that the closer we get to the base, the essential part, the quintessential part of these currencies, the thing that is where all of these currencies are wrapped around, the closer we get to the nucleus, to the middle of it, is going to dictate how much money you have, how much value you carry. What are you doing with these relationships? What are you doing with this knowledge? Are you just keeping it to yourself? Are you helping other people within these relationships? Are you providing more value within these relationships aside from just giving people money and just showing up with your money out? Because eventually you're going to run out of that. But the thing is, there's infinite knowledge and there's infinite relationships. Like me personally, anytime I go to an event, I look to create another relationship because I never know who's in the room. I remember when I got my second internship in college, second summer of college, I did not get that through an application process. I got that because of a relationship I created when I went to speak for an event that I did in high school. And the CFO was there. I connected with him. He heard how well I talk and how highly I spoke about the program. And he was like, yo, we got to get him in here for an internship. And he's still in my circle to this day. Every now and again, I will send him an email just saying, hey, hope you and your family are doing well. I hope to find you in the best of health. Hey, here's what's going on with me. What's going on with you? And we keep it very short and simple, but that's part of building a relationship. Yes, you have to put work into it. But hey, the closer we get to this nucleus, the more work you're going to have to put into it. And this is why most people just focus on money, because it's less work that I got to put into, but it actually ends up being more work that you're going to have to put into getting the money, because you're not focusing on those other things. Let me say that again. Putting your focus solely on money instead of these other currencies is actually on the long term going to take away and cost you more than focusing in on these other currencies. The reason why is because this middle currency that we're about to get into is the focal point. It is the middle for a reason. I call it the nucleus for a reason. You want to know why? Because it's the one thing you can't get back. Once it's spent, you can't get it back. And I think y'all know what I'm talking about. We talk about it all the time. I don't have it. I don't have enough. What is that thing? Can you, if you have completed those two phrases that I just said, I don't have enough, or I don't have it, I don't have it's time. Time. I don't have the time. First and foremost, time is a human construct. Like, yes, we can use it. Video cutout. Anyway, we can utilize our time so that way we can better so that way we can spend it on relationships, which is going to cut down on the amount of knowledge that we have to seek, which is then going to amplify and compound our ability to make money, giving us more value. The reason why the rich are the rich and the reason why the rich and wealthy are the rich and wealthy is because they found out how to maximize their time. They have found out, hey, if I actually do more thinking, less doing with my time, first of all, you think faster than you do. That's number one. So spend more time thinking about how you can tap into these other three currencies, so that way you can amplify your value. So that way you can build your self-trust. So that way you can say, hey, I can make this much money. I can provide this much money. Time is the key to it all. Your utilization of time. If you're spending more time doing, I guarantee you have less money. I promise you. Because doers just get the job done, but they're not creating the job that will need to be done. Think more. So yes, the 4 currencies. We talked about money being the baseline, being literally the result. Number 2 is our knowledge. What is up here that you can give to somebody else? Number 3 is our relationships. Are you talking to people, getting that exposure to different concepts and ideas, which will in turn shorten the amount of knowledge that you have to go seek on your own? It's specified knowledge. And the last and most important, the nucleus of all the currencies, is your time. How well are you spending your time? What are you spending your time doing? Do more thinking and less doing. Let the do be the product of your thinking. Hey, thank you once again for tuning into another episode on the channel with yours, the one and only, yours truly, KiMu JTD. Today we talked about the 4 currencies aside and 3 aside from money. Hey, if you liked what you heard today, please go ahead in the comments, tell me, what would you like to hear more of? Was there something that you would like me to get a little bit more into the nitty gritty on? If you liked the episode, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can get more content that's by yours truly, KiMu JTD. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button so you get notified every single time that I drop a video. And especially if you like this and if you like today's episode, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead. I know you want to. It's not about if you did. It's about the fact that you did. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hey, thank you all once again for tuning in with me. I appreciate it. I love you. I'm over and out. Peace.
On the road to the riches. On the road to the dollars. On the road as a scholar, so I could join the top fivers. On the road in the trenches. It's a long expedition. It gets hard, make me want to give up and quit it.